Welcome to yet another session. Today we have Ubaba Erick Sithole of Nsikayezwe Global and Nsikayezwe Management Consultants. So today we'll be unpacking what Nsikayezwe Management Consultant deals with. Today we're going to be talking about risk management. So I just want to quickly get into it. I would like you to define risk management for us. What is risk management? What is risk management about?
Yeah, remember, I'm always trying to define things in the simplest way, or in layman's terms, let me put it. I always say, whatever that you do, in our session earlier, we're discussing leadership, and we said there will always be that threat. There will always be that particular thing that becomes a threat to your vision, to your goal, to anything that you want to achieve. There will be a threat. Yeah. Absolutely. And that threat must be managed. So to me, that's what you call the risk management. Absolutely. And I always make an example, Temba, that you are growing up as a young man, and you are saying to maybe in 15 years to come, I assume maybe you are still in your early 20s. Yes. You're saying 15 years to come, a one-man company maybe to be somewhere around JSE. So it's good. That's your goal. That's your vision. But there are so many things that might hinder that goal. What are they? If you are not disciplined enough. So lack of discipline. If you are not disciplined enough, then you might not achieve your vision. Yes. So we need a way of managing that. Yeah. If you're not developing yourself, so that must also be managed. So there are these things. Maybe you can be, the laws of this country can hinder you. Government laws. And any other factor. There are so many factors that can hinder your objectives. Yes. So they need to be identified. Yes. Put controls in place that will ensure that these threats are being managed. Yes. on daily basis, on monthly basis, on quarterly basis, on yearly basis. So that's what you call risk management. Identifying threats and finding ways of managing those threats. That's risk management.
Absolutely. So now that you've defined risk management for us, I would like you to delve deeper into why risk management is important. Right? We know what risk management is, right? But why is it absolutely important? Why is it vital for your business?
Yeah, it's a good question, and many people sometimes don't want to work with risk management specialists because these people may be biased, discouraged, or they want too much information from us. Without knowing what are threats facing your company, you will hit by the bomb anytime. I look at the situation of COVID. I'm sure maybe in 10 years ago, we didn't know that there will be COVID-19. But if you go back to the speech that was made by Barack Obama, I don't know which year, I'm sure you've seen the clip, where he says we need to build the health infrastructure because maybe 5 years to come, a pandemic will come. So he was saying, we are here today, maybe 2015 or 2017, but we need to prepare for 2020 or 2019 because we don't know what is coming. But whatever that might come, it must find us ready. It must find us ready. So risk management is important because it prepares you for the worst situation. It prepares you for a crisis. It prepares you. It makes you comfortable during a crisis. So a crisis can come, but if you were prepared, you just flow.
Absolutely amazing. You know, it is really funny that you mentioned the speech that Barack Obama gave. There's also another speech that another individual gave. It was actually a TED Talk by Bill Gates. And he says something really amazing. He says, the next war, the next big thing that will hit humanity is not a nuclear war. It is not a war on weapons. It is not a war on power. But it is a biological weapon. And fast forward about 6 years later, we are in COVID, right? So risk management is important in the sense that you've mentioned. You don't know what the future holds, but you need to prepare for that. They usually say, hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Definitely.
So basically what you're saying now is that risk management is prepare for the worst.
That's the principle.
Okay.
That's the principle of risk management. So you are not saying, and I don't know, we Africans believe that if I
prepare for the worst,
for death,
then
I'm gonna die.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see, we've got it messed up. And when we grew up in Makaya, but no, man. One day you will die. You are not permanent, because nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. Everything is temporal. Do you know that today I'm 34, but I know that at 50 or at 60, maybe I will have some challenges with my physical body. So I must prepare my mind now that I cannot run as fast as I was running when I was 20, when I'm 60 years old. So those changes, so you prepare. And if you want to prolong that time, not to hit you earlier, you start exercising today. So your tomorrow will be what you do today. So same thing applies to risk management. You prepare for a while, so that when that thing, for instance, it's like you are preparing yourself for a disappointment. When I'm expecting to be disappointed, when disappointment comes, I won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
That's a quote right there.
Yeah. When you are expecting disappointment, when it eventually hits, you are no longer disappointed.
You are no longer disappointed.
Because you prepared yourself.
You prepared for it. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what's called risk management.
That is amazing. That is a very peculiar perspective to what many might call a very complex topic. So this leads me to this. How can small businesses, small businesses starting out, budding entrepreneurs, how can those guys, those little guys, as we would call them, apply those risk management strategies when they're starting out? Because I doubt when you're starting out, you even think about risk management, because you're thinking about your immediate problems, your finances, how to grow the businesses so you can make more money. So how can those guys apply risk management strategies?
I think Themba, it's not only about them. I'll come back to your question. It's not only about them who ignores the risk management in business. Most of our jobs, the jobs that we are doing, the professional services, the guy in the spaza shop believes that I don't need them. They are not important. Why must I have a consultant to come and teach me about risk management? Will I eat risk management? So they are more concerned about a person coming with money, buying a soap, buying a bread, so that I can go back home and put food on my table. So that's the first thing. They don't believe that they need advice on business. The only time when they come to you, when there's a problem, then they will realize, I need someone to take me out of this. So I think we need to start teaching them first. And to remember, for your business to grow, it requires management. And not everyone is a manager. Not everyone is a manager. So it's a skill that you learn how to run and how to grow a management. And then a skill that you need is called a risk management. For instance, if you are running a spaza shop, I'm just going to make a simple example. You are running a spaza shop, you must always prepare yourself that the price of petrol is unpredictable. So if you are running a spaza shop at Timbali and you are placing an order from CPD or from Durban, from anywhere, as soon as the price of petrol changes, what's going to happen to our cost? The cost will increase. So whenever cost increase, then customers will start saying, okay, from that spaza shop the price of bread is 10 rand, from that spaza shop the price is how much? 12 rand, and from that one then they're gonna go to the cheapest. And what happens to you? So you must always be prepared for such things. So risk is unpredictable. It can hit anytime. So that's why you need it. So you need people who are gonna tell you how to prepare yourself for a worst situation. So, and I always do these sessions at NMC where we invite them, teaching them the importance of risk management in their business. There is no business in the world that doesn't need risk management. So if you have it in your division, it's okay. But if you don't have it, just find people who are specialists in risk management, who will tell you that, listen, in business there's summer and winter. You must outlast both. Outlast summer, outlast winter, outlast all season in business. And how can you do that? By preparing yourself. That's the most important thing. Remember, when I talked about leadership earlier, I said there's something called self-will. You can know something, but people cannot enforce it. I cannot force you to do what I believe is right. You still need to make a decision on your own. So the knowledge is out there. And the case studies, because so many case studies in the world about risk management and the importance of risk management. But it's up to them whether they want to be assisted when it comes to risk management. Yeah.
Okay. So I believe for whoever is watching this, you have those nibbles to chew on what risk management is. But what I wanted us to achieve by this conversation is not deal with what risk management is only and how it can help you, but where can you get counseling on risk management, which is why I brought this conversation to the man who basically deals with all the aspects of risk management and Nsikayezwe Management Consultants. So the next thing that I want you to quickly just brush through is this. I've seen a couple of your posts, and on one of them I noticed something. You were talking about governance. Okay. And I asked myself, okay, this individual has a company and he deals with all of these factors because you deal with a lot. And then he comes into governance, but his company is not a state-owned company. It's just a question, right? So here's my question. What is the framework of governance? What is governance?
Yeah, it's a broad question, but remember now, I always look for a simplest way of explaining something so that I don't confuse people. It comes from the word govern, to rule.
Yes.
See, how do you rule? How do you run a business? That's where it comes from. So you can run it in a good way or in a bad way. So that's why you've got something called good governance and bad governance. So how do you rule? How do you govern? So how do you do things in your business? How do you do things in a state-owned enterprise? How do you do things? How do you make decisions? So it has a lot of elements, the decision making. So we are pushing that the problem, for instance, in Africa, I once said, yes, there's a colonizer in Africa, which means there is someone who colonized Africa who still instructs the leadership in Africa to do things in a certain way.
Absolutely.
I won't go there today. But also there is poor governance in Africa. There's poor governance in Africa. You can see how companies are being run by so-called CEOs and their boards. So when you have those things in Africa, then forget about progress, forget about economic development, because poor governance is when people are doing things for their own benefit. They don't put the interest of a continent up front. So it's about them, not people.
Injustice.
So good governance says put the interest of the organization and people first.
Advancing humanity.
Yes. So that's governance. So I'm saying if you hire me today to be a CEO of ESCOM, you hire me today to be a CEO of SAA, I must make sure that I put the interest of the company first and the interest of the society that I'm serving first before myself. So I mustn't go there with the intention of enriching myself and my family. I mustn't go to the African bank, African bank in Africa, if I'm hired as a CEO. I mustn't go there with the intention of enriching myself and Utemba, Kanyiso, and Sabe.
The board of directors.
It doesn't work like that. The moment I do that, then I have a problem. That will also compromise my decision. So my decision sometimes will be favorable to a certain group, and that's not what we call good governance. So it involves around this. So when you see a problem, this company is making a SAA loss, SAA will be shut down, ESCOM, load shedding, in other countries in Africa. Look at Nigeria, infrastructure development. We are trying, because Nigeria is also, I think if the research says #1 economy in Africa, but if you check the infrastructure, where is it? What is happening in Nigeria? Then you have got government. You see, so it means somehow we are destroyed by the so-called poor governance. Hence, I'm saying, you know what? We need to fix it, because everything rises and falls with leadership. So let's fix the governance. How do we govern? How do we make decisions? How do we hire?
Amazing.
You see, those are very important. Who do we put? So how do we make decisions? Who influences you determines whether the company will grow or it will fall. So we have that problem of governance. And at NMC, we are trying to push so that we can fix these issues in Africa. Corporate sector, even in government, we need proper governance.
Babu Sithole, here's my question. How do you assess this risk? All right. So it is quite an important element in how you run things. So then how do you do that?
Yeah, it's just simple two principles. You have internal and external factors. So there's something that you can control, internal, and there's something that you cannot control, which happens external. For instance, COVID-19 is an external factor. It hit us. We're not expecting it, but it's something that we cannot control. It was in China, it was in USA, it's in Africa, everywhere. So it's an external factor. But you also have something called internal factors. Internal factors, I would say, these are things that you can control. You can make decisions and manage them. Even the external one, you can manage. So let me give you an example of an internal. Internal, you have employees. So you have a company, you say we must achieve our performance needs to grow, but you have employees who've got attitude, who doesn't want to work. So that could be a risk. That employee is a threat to the organization. It must be managed. Find why people are not performing. We have culture. Culture is an internal factor. Culture in the organization. So in the organization, if you have a culture of discriminating people, it will be a risk to your goal. It will be a threat to your goals. You've seen, I'm sure, I don't know whether it was back in 2019 or 2017. Remember the post by Penny Sparrow?
Oh yes.
Where she said the people are monkeys.
Monkeys, yes.
And then the people checked. They had to check. Okay, who is she associated with? Let's go for a company. So people will go to a company. Okay, if you don't fire this person, we will boycott this company. So it means people want to know, do you embrace this type of culture in this organization? So this is very important in any organization, to define the culture. How do we do things around this company? Do we discriminate? People will say, okay, in this company, only certain group of people can be promoted. The other group is not being promoted. In that company, The management doesn't value our qualifications. They promote you based on race. So those things are internal. You can manage them because they can be remembered. Because when they go outside in papers, television, people can decide to boycott and then you lose. Just like that. Suppliers. Your suppliers, who do you work with? People are supplying with material or anything. What type of people are they? Very important. You can manage it. If you've got someone who's got total different values from what you are standing for as an organization, that particular individual can be a threat to the success of your organization. That's why people will say, okay, as long as you still work with Erick Sithole, we know Erick, we know him, we know what he stands for. If you keep on working with this guy, we're not going to support your business.
It's amazing that you say
that. These things are internal, yeah.
It's amazing that you say that because I've noticed a lot of companies nowadays are using your social media pages as a form to assess you as a risk to the company.
Sure.
So before they hire you, they say, let's look at this person's Facebook or Instagram. What do they post? Is this person going to align with what the company stands for? Imagine if you're always posting on social media, you are drunk. Do you expect them to trust you that you'll be able to fulfill your duties in a satisfactory manner? So it is a form of risk management to assess you as an individual if you are a risk to the company.
That's why other companies are now implementing the so-called social media policy. So they are saying, we expect you to behave in this manner even there on social media. So if you violate these policies, we'll call for a disciplinary hearing. You can even be dismissed from employment. So they know. And as I've said, others want to manage your risk before even comes inside the organization. Before they fully finalize your employment, they will go and just pull out pictures and say, guys, the person that you're about to hire is always out there insulting people. Look at the language. Do we value this language in this company? Hell no. Therefore, based on the behavior, we don't think this is a suitable candidate. Might be competent, and let's see if we cannot, but it can be a risk. How you listen, it happened 3 days ago or 4 days ago. Bianca, who wanted to enter Miss SAA, I'm sure you saw it. People had to dig their past tweets, and she ended up pulling out from the competition. So it happened. So you must even manage yourself as an individual, because you can cripple your own career if you are misbehaving even on social media. So I'm saying those are just internal factors. So you've got things like financial resources, physical resources. Where is your office? Where are you located? For instance, if you are located in an area where it is known that it is a hotspot for crime, you might have people say, no, I'm not going to go into that building. I'd rather go to another client, to another company, because it's located in a very secure and safe area. So even the place where you put your own office is very important. Where are you renting your office? Where are you building your office? Where are your premises? Is very important. The location is very important. It can be a threat to your success. So those are there are so many, but those are simple internal factors that you must assess and find a way, internal controls that will address them. Then you've got external factors, which are your politics. Politics is an external factor. It can affect your business negatively. I once made an example that in America, when Trump came into power, he said, buy American, hire American. Buy American, hire American. There's politics at play. What it simply means now, in your company, you have to comply with what the president is saying.
Yeah.
Is it a fair thing for the president to say? Of course. Say no. Let us, because we want to do what? Promote our own economic growth. So let us buy American, let us hire American. So if it means now, if you are buying most of your stuff from another country, you have to find it, try first, look around before you can go outside. So if your best supplier is in Japan. And the president says those who go outside without utilizing maybe the talent or the resources inside, maybe they will pay higher taxes for that. So it becomes, it's politics, but it's now affecting you, because now we're saying, okay, it's fine, you're not going to buy here because you supply the best supply of your materials outside, but be prepared to pay the price. Secondly, you can have the so-called environmental factors.
Oh yes.
Environmental factors, like we had a problem with water, drought, I think in 2016 or 2017. So you want to build a project and there's a shortage of water. It affects you. You must always be prepared for those things.
Yeah.
Drought. You can have climate change. Your project can be delayed due to changes in the climate. So that could be a risk. You must manage it. You've got societal issues, which includes culture. Remember now, let's say you want to go and build, so make an example of traditional authorities. You want to go and build a shopping mall, maybe where? What's the rural area that you can think of? Think of Hlanzeni, I don't know. Yeah, but there's a king there, and says no, our forefather says this place must not, this piece of land must not be touched. No one must utilize this piece of land because this is the place of our ancestors. We worship this. So can you see? You want to come with a project, but now a certain culture is prevalent. Yes, it's environmental. In fact, it's called, we call it societal factors or environment. Societal factors. And then you have economic factors. You know, inflation. When whatever, I always make an example, when the economy in America is going down, because we are global, other countries will be affected. That's how it works. Those things, you must always be prepared. What you're gonna do when America goes into a recession, or when Russia or China goes into a recession, what happens to you as South Africa? You must be prepared. How are you gonna live if that happens? So those are, I don't want to leave technology. Very important, because technology has destroyed a lot of companies. Yeah, it has destroyed a lot of companies. Today, you've got maybe, I don't know how old were you when we were using Nokia 5110. Do you still remember Nokia 5110? You don't.
Not at all. I told you.
Who knows? Maybe you still remember Nokia 3310. Yeah. Remember now?
3310.
Yeah, 3310. You can't find it today.
Yeah.
And even the company that was manufacturing the 3310. So technology can destroy. I said when the National Exposure magazine was interviewing me, said, what do you think will be the impact of technology on businesses? I said, there's an African proverb which says, if the rhythm of the drum beats changes, then the dance steps must adapt. So we must learn to adapt, embrace technology, because if we don't, you will suffer the consequences. So those who have made sure, because people even today, there are companies who doesn't want to be, remember, people are always online. So if you are still using the old method of advertising your business via only using newspapers, how many people are buying newspapers? Hard copies today. So those things, technology, people are online, people are on Facebook, people are on Instagram. So find people who will be on Instagram, on Facebook, on behalf of the company. So those are things that you must assess. How will technology affect our business? There are people who are using automation today. For instance, you know, robots cannot go on strike, but people can go on strike. So that's technology. That's why you have now these, most companies, they don't have cashiers anymore. They put robots. Because a robot will never say, I'm downing the tools today.
I want a raise.
I want a raise. They won't go. So people, robots, they believe we can manage robots, we can trust robots, as long as the setup is okay and everything they need serviced, they will always be working. But people can say, no, today I've got a headache, I've got this and that. So how do you deal with technology? If you don't embrace it, others will embrace it, and then you will go down. It's simple as that. So that's how you assess risk management, and also look at the previous case studies. What happened before? If there are audit reports, if it's a government entity, just check the previous audit reports, and just check what people are saying. What are the expectations of the society from this particular company? And then that's how you assess. You assess the risk, and then you put measures in place to control the risk from materialism. So you want to make sure that even if it materializes, but the impact will not be so high. Absolutely. Because there were controls in place. So that's how you assess it.
Thank you so much, Babu Sithole. That was quite a mouthful, even though it was a quick browse through what governance is. But I believe those chunks that you gave us are sufficient enough for us to understand the fundamental elements that contribute to the need of risk management and governance. And with that, we're going to wrap up on our session with risk management. We will continue on it, but for today, this is all we're giving you. Thank you so much.